Hey guys, Curtis Alexander. In this video, I want to talk about using tart cherry juice or tart cherries for insomnia. Does it work? Is there evidence for it? I'll go through kind of the high points on it. And then at the end, I'll give you my overall take on if it could be helpful for you. So starting off, the important thing to remember, so tart cherries, obviously they're getting the juice from these tart cherries. Now, one of the important things to remember, these particular cherries do contain tryptophan and melatonin. Now, at first glance, that sounds like a good thing, right? Because melatonin helps you sleep, tryptophan makes you tired. If you've seen any of my other videos, there's always downsides to things. And I think there's more downsides to melatonin than people realize as far as using it consistently for sleep. And there's some problems with tryptophan too. I'll get into those in a second, but I wanted to point that out right off the bat. Now, we do have some small studies. The main one that I want to focus on, I'll put a link in the description. They took older adults who were otherwise healthy, no huge major health issues, but they did have insomnia, and they gave them tart cherry juice. They gave them 8 ounces twice a day, morning and evening. And we'll come back to the dosing here in a second. And what they did find is that there was some positive effects. These people did sleep better, got to sleep a little quicker, those sorts of things. So it was positive. Now, one of the questions I'll get is, well, if tart cherries contain melatonin, how much melatonin? How does it compare to melatonin? You have to keep in mind that while it does contain melatonin, it's a very small amount compared to what people normally take. And in my opinion, this is a good thing. If you're going to take melatonin, most people take way too much of it. So in a serving, you're probably looking at 130 micrograms of melatonin, not a ton. Like I said, I consider that a good thing. Another question is, when would be the ideal time to take it? I don't see any reason to dose twice a day. I would either take juice 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Like I said, the 8 ounces I think is a decent amount. I would take it more towards the 2 hour mark, because if you're the type of person, if you have liquid, you don't want to be up in the middle of the night having to go to the bathroom. And we'll talk about another option right now, which is I've had good feedback from people who just take the tart cherry capsules rather than going for the juice. And I think that would be my personal preference. But there's no studies looking at the capsules. There's only studies looking at the juice. So keep that in mind. But again, I have seen good reviews from people who take the capsule. So another option to keep in mind. Also, we want to talk about side effects. Do people have problems with this? And by and large, tart cherry juice or tart cherries, the capsules seem to be very well tolerated. The main side effect that you'll hear about or read about is some people, it can upset their stomach. So keep that in mind. So my overall take as far as tart cherries go, I do think there's positive evidence. There's not a lot of it. It's not huge studies, but I think it's positive. I do think it's worth a shot to at least try it. Again, I have heard good reviews from people, online sites. It tends to be have pretty good results for people. Not a lot of side effects associated, so I think it's worth a shot. Now, I want to come back to melatonin and tryptophan. I already mentioned the amount of melatonin in it is small. That is a good thing. The amount of tryptophan in it is small. That is a good thing, because most people, frankly, get too much melatonin when they supplement with it, and most people get too much tryptophan in their diet, particularly if you're doing something like the carnivore diet along those lines. I've done other videos about this. That can be problematic. So I like that tart cherry doesn't have high amounts of these. Finally, keep in mind, people harp on this. It's like, if you're having sleep issues, and I can attest, to me personally, I used to have sleep issues. It was definitely tied in to my diet. So look at some of my other videos on diet if you're struggling with that. This tart cherry juice, tart cherry capsules, I think are a good option in the meantime, but you really do want to look at what in the world is causing your sleep issues. Most of the time, it's diet and lifestyle. If you guys want to hear more about those things, what I've done to help my sleep, I'm happy to make videos on that. Let me know in the comments. Let me know also if you've tried tart cherry juice or the capsules, Did it help with the sleep? I'd love to hear about it. I know other people that see this video are going to want to hear from you as well if you've had experience with it. So hope this was helpful, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.